What's going on, fellow YouTubers? This is 1M2. I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody that comes back and watches my channel and all the shenanigans that I get to, all 5 of you. Anyways, what I have done today is basically laid out my entire air suspension kit that I ordered maybe 3 months ago or something like that. It's been sitting in my living room for about a month and a half. I just couldn't install anything because the weather in Arizona was just horrific. And if you do watch my videos, you know that my Mustang is inside the garage taking all the space, so I can't fit another car in there because the motor blew and I can't take it out and put it back in. It doesn't run. Anyways, so what I've done is laid out my entire air suspension kit on the floor, and I'm just going to explain quickly how you can figure out what goes where. Not only that, but I did get a little email with a picture showing what goes where. It's pretty self-explanatory. Honestly, I'm saying it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you watch like this video, you're gonna get a decent idea of how you can install these airbags. I'm not installing anything into the car because I'm missing 4 fittings. I wanted to start installing a front and a rear one to maybe the driver's side, so that I can get a grasp of everything I'm going to need to lower or unbolt from the car suspension, so I can get that old coilover out and throw the new airbag in there. However, I'm missing 4 fittings, so I'm not able to do that. Basically, all I gotta do is be a little more patient and wait for those other fittings to come. I have already reached out to the seller. I'm just waiting on response. Anyways, this is a quick, simple video of how you can figure some things out on your own. Peace. All right, first things first, everybody. We're gonna start at the top and work our way down. So I laid everything out. I did vacuum to try and keep some dust away from all this stuff because it is sensitive. First things first, there was no labels on any of these airbags that said front or rear. However, if you look at the top of each one of these, there's like a product code number or maybe a SKU number, and the 2 on this side and the one I'm holding have a RUD. The other 2 over there have a FUD. So naturally, I just assumed that those are the front and these are the rear. However, I did send a message to the seller asking, hey, is that what these numbers mean? Is this the front and is that the rear? So I'm waiting to hear back on that. Anyways, okay, so these fittings here, 4 of them, are gonna go right in the back of the manifold. There you go. So it basically plugs in like this. Of course, you need the, what is it, Teflon tape or whatever it's called. So you plug that in so there's no leaks. And then you plug the nylon into the fitting right here. But before you do that, you have to slide this into the nylon first. And then basically when you tighten this, it's gonna squeeze it so that none of the air gets out. This is a little bit different from the airlift kit, whereas the airlift kit, they sent push to lock fittings. These, I'm hoping these work better because I personally don't like push to lock, but whatever, everybody swears they're good. This is the manifold, okay? So 4 lines coming out, 2 lines are gonna come here and 2 lines are gonna come there. If you turn it to the side, the manifold has 2 more ports. It says in, and I believe that's exit, or I have no idea what that is. So where it says in, there's going to be another fitting, so I'll put another fitting right here. God. I'll put another fitting on the in, connect some nylon, and the other end of the nylon is going to go into the air tank, which I don't have set up right now. I didn't take out, well actually I took out the air tank, but I put it back away. I figure you guys really don't need to see the air tank. So anyways, EXH or whatever that port says, there are some little, hold on, let me take them out here. Okay, there's 2 of these, and basically they're filters, and they go in the EXH port. Now there's 2 of these ports on the other side, so I'm assuming you can run 2 nylon lines or 2 air lines. I should just call them airlines. I'm assuming you can run 2 air lines into the tank, and then you have the other 2 filters. Here's the pigtail for the brain, or actually the brain might be down here, I'm not sure, or this might be the brain. I really don't know. I think the brain is in here, and the controller is just basically displaying you data from here, but I'm not 100% sure. Before I go any further, there is an antenna that you attach to this manifold. I could not find the port. I was going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck is this called? Turning it and turning it. And I look underneath. I'm like, there's nothing there. What the hell? But then when I went to plug the pigtail in, I noticed that little deal right there. That's where this antenna goes. And I guess it's just for the wireless, so you have a better connection when you're trying to air it out at a car show remotely or whatever with your phone. Pigtail obviously goes in there. The pigtail, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines coming out of the pigtail. So the big thick one turns into a USB, and it plugs into your controller, which is easy enough. It only goes in one way, so you can't really mess it up. I really wish they would have used USB-C, but you know, whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so on here, the red one, there's a red line right there. On the red line, I didn't notice this the first time when I unpacked it, but can you guys see that 30 right there? So that 30 actually is telling you, hey, plug it into your relay where it says 30. Let me just move it if I can here. Right there, you guys see the 30? So all of these connections are labeled with a number. This is a relay. They're always like that. Relays usually have the number underneath them, and it correlates to a specific function and whatnot. So anyways, 30, you match up to 30. This thing over here for the power cable that goes to the front of the battery, that side over there. And just do want to let you guys know, when you are plugging this in, you really want this side over here where the battery goes. This fuse should be on the side where the battery goes. The other end plugs into number 30 right here. Okay, on the blue line, there's an 86, so there's an 86 right there. However, it does split off like this one did. It has some little thing, I'm not sure what this is, but it's there. So this blue line here on the other end, it has ACCIGN. That means accessory ignition. So you would plug this in to like your radio, this accessory, or your cigarette lighter accessory. You don't want to plug this in to a power source that constantly has power. You only want to plug it into a source that has power when the key is turned on the car, unless you want to be able to run this when the car is turned off. If you want to be able to run this when the car is turned off, you can do that. However, it's going to drain your battery. So in order to avoid that, you can install a switch right there that's, you know, you manually turn the whole kit off. But let's say you're at a car show and you have a big beefy ass battery, an alternator, or a second battery, and you can run this with the car turned off and just flip that switch, and that way you have power to your entire unit, and then you can connect to your manifold. That's why it has that antenna there, so that if you want to run the kit remotely from your phone, you can do that. You just got to download their app. All right, what's this other one? This other one right here, it has an 85, and down there on the relay it has a number 85. This end right here is going to go into the air tank. It just turns in, it's threaded. And then on this end of the black, see, it goes into there and it comes right back out. It says GND. GND usually stands for ground, so you find a good spot on the car to ground this. Okay, now the black lines. There's 2 black lines also coming out here. On the black lines, it says GND as well. Focusing. GND. GND, again, it means ground, which I just said that. All right, now back over here to the air compressor. The air compressor pretty much kind of comes like this, except this is not connected. I'm going to explain to you what's what here real quick. So in the instructions, it says plug it into number 87. So it's only going to have power when this has power, okay? That's what powers the entire thing. This is basically a giant switch that says when power on the car is turned on, power everything. So in the instructions it says either get a separate relay and connect that yourself, or connect it to the whatever it was, 87. However, it is really weird that they put this style of connection when it requires a round one like the ground. I'm not sure why they did that, but it is what it is. Okay, so on the compressor, there's a little cap here that you have to remove once everything is installed, and you screw this thing in there. So what is this? It says install in dry area away from moisture. So once you take the cap off and you screw this thing in, this is a filter. Okay, so it's sucking air in through there, but it's filtering out any moisture. And here's one spare filter. Why do they give you a spare filter? They give you a spare filter because these things get dirty, especially in places where it's very dusty, like here in Arizona. So you have to twist this thing off, and inside there's another filter. It's said to actually change these once a month, but that's a lot. I don't know where the heck to even get new filters. Maybe you can take it out and wash it. I honestly don't know. You're gonna have to let it dry, obviously, because the whole purpose of this is to avoid moisture and dirt. Okay, this line right here on the air compressor, I want to tell you first what's what. Right here, this is a check valve. You can see an arrow. So this means it's sucking air through here, and then it's pushing it out this way. That's what the arrow is for. It's telling you that's the direction the air is flowing. Up here on this thing here, I believe this is a water trap. So there's an arrow on the top telling you, hey, it goes up here and the air goes this way. Okay, and then there's a fitting right here, and this other end of the fitting goes directly into the tank. The black wire here needs to be grounded somewhere on the car as well. Now this is a, what is this? This is a V360 air compressor by Volcano. What I like about this versus the compressors that I got from Airlift on the Mustang is it has these little springs here. So this is going to help with some of the vibration, which is pretty cool. The other compressors that I got with the Airlift kit did not have these little springs in there. What else? I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. That's all the information I have on this kit. This kit is from AirDemand. That's their logo right there, AD, and they are on Instagram. They do have a website. But anyways, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Deuces out, bro.